guys, welcome back to my channel. So it's only a week into March and I'm just now filming a TBR video. It's fine. So I do TBR videos partially to let you know like the direction that I'm reading, but I'm 100% a mood reader at this point in time. So I don't know why I keep filming these, is the moral of the story. But I have a reason this month. Basically, the Audible sale that happened like a week ago, I went a little too hard with it and I needed some guidance because I had way too many options to choose from and I couldn't decide what to read at all. So this is me going through and being like, okay, let's prioritize maybe this series because I bought entire series during that sale. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a glimpse of what I plan to get to, but keep in mind, take this with a grain of salt because I'm really bad at sticking to TBRs. This is just me filming this for my own sake to help me choose what to read off of Audible. Cool? So first and foremost, the one book that I know that I'm going to be reading this month is the one that I'm reading with my book club over on Patreon, and I'm so excited to finally get to The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. This officially released in like the real world, in traditional publishing world, on March 1st. So like the audiobook exists for this, the hardcover exists. I know a bunch of boxes did special editions of this, but it is out in the world now outside of indie publishing. I bought this back when TikTok made it go viral like a year ago. So I have like the indie version that is it's not unedited, but I know that they did change things from this version to the traditional version, so I think I'm going to get the audiobook and listen along with this to see what things they changed, because I'm curious. I think most of the changes were done on purpose for the better of the story. Like, I know Olivia Blake, the author, is happy with all of the changes that she made. She kind of like solidified a lot of plot lines, I think, with the edits. But that's an intriguing thing because I managed to get the indie version, so now I'm curious to see all of the differences. So I will be getting to this for sure in March. Everything else is just up in the air. Another book that I would like to try and prioritize because I am ridiculously excited over it is Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. This is book 2 of the Dreamland Billionaires series. This is the like Disney World grandson series that I've talked about. The first book is The Fine Print. This follows the 3 grandsons of essentially like a fictionalized version of Walt Disney who passes away and leaves like the empire to these grandsons, but they all have stipulations on how to get their inheritance. The first one took place mostly like in like a Disney World type of park, and it was so fun. It was like Grump and Sunshine. It was workplace romance. This one, I don't know anything about it. I know it follows Declan, who is a brother. We met all of the brothers in the first book, but I'm excited to see Declan. And there's a greenhouse on the cover. I'm very excited. This is like the special edition cover. It is gorgeous. It's much thicker than the fine print. I can't wait to get to this. So we'll toss that on the stack. Ambitiously, I have been trying to tackle a lot of older fantasy series that I've always wanted to get to, but I was always intimidated by it. So last month, I finally read the Black Jewels trilogy by Anne Bishop. I've always wanted to read that series, and I did, and I liked the experience. It was very satisfying to get to. Earlier in the year, I tend to read more intimidating titles, and then I like reward myself with like the second half of the year by just reading straight smut. So I'm in that ambitious early part of the year. So I think the next series I'm going to try and take on is I don't actually know what the series is called. Kashiel's Dart is book 1, Kashiel's Chosen, and Kashiel's Avatar. This is a trilogy that I think also has spin-off books, if I'm correct in that, by Jacqueline Carey. So this trilogy is a fairly well-loved series that has existed. Like, Jacqueline Carey is a very well-loved fantasy author at this point, but I've never read it, and I've always been intrigued because all that I really know about the series is that it is high fantasy, but it is very sexual. Like, I think basically how the world works, how society works, is that sex is a very commonplace thing. Like, there is no taboo nature when it comes to sexuality. So I've just been intrigued by this series endlessly, but these are also very long books. These are the really tall, like floppy paperback versions of the series. But I'm pretty sure that I got the audiobook. Yeah, this is a really tall trade paperback and it's still like 650 pages. And I think the audiobooks are all like 30 plus hours long. So this has been an intimidating series for me for a while, but I've always wanted to read it. So I think this is the next one that I'm going to try and prioritize. So I might at least try like book 1 in March. Okay, so those are the physical books that I pulled off my shelf that I would like to try and get to this month. Beyond that, if you guys watched my haul video, I kind of mentioned the fact that I bought a lot of books during the Audible sale because I am primarily an audiobook listener at this point in time. I still read physical books, I still read a lot on my Kindle, but I can listen to audiobooks while I'm at work every night. So I work a full-time job, so I go through audiobooks like candy. So I took advantage of that Audible sale a lot. So I have a ton of books in my Audible library now, and I don't know how to prioritize them. Like, I'm a little overwhelmed with how much to choose from, so I'm filming this as a way to kind of like pick some. So I have, I have the physical copies of these. I got the audios of these, Cruel Paradise and Beautifully Cruel by J.T. Gessinger. These take place in the same world as the Queens and Monsters series, Ruthless Creatures and Carnal Urges and Savage Hearts, which is one of my favorite series that I've read in recent time. These, I believe, kind of take place prior to that. You don't have to read one or the other, like they don't really coincide, but I think we see characters that I've already met in the Queens and Monsters series. I think we get to see them in this. So this is a duet that I got the audiobooks of, so I might also prioritize this. While I'm sticking in the contemporary mode, I did pick up some small town romance because that's my jam. So I might just binge my way through the Bailey Brothers series by Clara Kingsley. It is the spin-off of the Miles family series, which to me is the closest thing that I've read to the True North series by Serena Bowen. It's like an ongoing small town farm family romance series that follows like all of the different brothers' romances. So the Bailey Brothers series is a spin-off because it's like a side family that we met in that one. So I think I got 5 of those, and I think the 6th or final book is supposed to come out in a month or 2, so good timing me. So I might just binge right through those. And then I got a ton of fantasy romance. Like a lot of fantasy romance. Basically, my entire wish list was available as like a $3 to $5 price point. So I bought a lot of them. I got the first 3 books in the Four Horsemen series by Lara Thalassa, which I've always wanted to read. And those were the 3 that had audios available, so I bought all 3 of those, so I might get to those. I got A Ruin of Roses by K.F. Breen, and where's the follow-up of that? A Throne of Ruin, so that's books 1 and 2 of that series, and I've heard good stuff about that. I've heard really good stuff about that. And I also got another series by her that came as like a bind-up of audiobooks. I didn't know that was a thing. You could buy like a box set of audiobooks that was really cheap, so I might prioritize that. I got the Magic of Discovery is book 1, and then The Magic of Betrayal, The Magic of Destiny by Britt Andrews. This is from what I know, a fun reverse harem witchy paranormal series that I've heard nothing but incredible stuff about, so we might go that direction. I got a lot of fae stories because obviously that's my jam. So I got the High Mountain Court, which I've heard is from what a lot of people have recommended. Granted, I take all of these with a grain of salt because I get these recommendations all the time. But from what I've heard, it's the closest thing that people have described as the feeling of reading ACOTAR for the first time. So I got that. I also got A Court of Honey and Ash. Sounds very similar, right? I got the Amelia Hutchins series, the like Ashes of Chaos ones. I've got a lot. So basically my options are endless. So I think that I'm going to do those books, see where I am, what mood I'm in, and then I'm going to decide if I want to go contemporary, if I want to go dark contemporary, because I also got some like mafia romance and some like darker reverse harem ones, or if I want to go fantasy. I covered all of my bases, but those are the series or titles that are sticking out to me right now, so those are what I'm thinking of getting to. If you guys have recommendations, let me know of where I should start. Okay, that is going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys are excited for the month of March, even though we're pretty far into March already. It's fine. And I will see you guys in my next video.